During the 98% podcast, Devon was asked whether he's allowed to speak up about the controversies involving East versus West and WAF regarding the banning of some of the arm wrestlers. Devon kind of took offense to the word allowed. He was like, of course I'm allowed, of course I can speak up about whatever I want. But then later on during the same interview, he realized that he cannot speak up about whatever he wants. And it was kind of sad to see because Devon is the most powerful figure in the world of arm wrestling. And if some people can control what he wants to say or what he can say, then what is going to happen to some of the other arm wrestlers? I've never seen Devon being so politically correct about such a simple subject which he can easily speak about. Listen to this.
What are you talking about?
With contracts with Georgie.
Does Georgie have a contract?
Yes, that's what we're hearing. And
Have you talked to Georgie?
No, but Engen keeps posting it constantly, and there's.
You know what I hate doing? I hate talking about things when I don't have the facts. So,
Yeah.
I cannot move forward with the conversation on presumption. But you can say I presume, and I just think that this is an important conversation. I don't want to be misinterpreted.
I have information.
And as soon as the subject was changed, Devon's tone of speaking immediately changed. He got really happy, started speaking in a higher tone, started speaking much more faster. It looks like he got much more comfortable as soon as the topic was changed. So what's the issue? So some of the Bulgarian arm wrestlers and presumably many other arm wrestlers from other countries as well started having some trouble with the WAF president Asen, who is from Bulgaria. Maybe allegedly he stole some money which was supposed to be for the athletes and the referees and some other stuff, the equipments, maybe the flags. So he took that money and he kind of cherished himself with that money, which shouldn't have happened. These are the allegations. So some people started drifting away from WAF, from Asen. Then they created IFA 2018 because Igor had some business interests. Some people joined that, some didn't. So it's a long story. So Devon talked about that long story in brief, starting from 2018 or 17. But he did give his take on this. He said, yes, if everybody is corrupt, then why not everyone join WAF? Yes, they also may be corrupt, but at least they have some government backing. And if arm wrestling is going to be in the Olympics, it is going to be with them. It is going to be because of them. So these, in my mind, are kind of valid points, but not so much valid points at the same time. Because the guys who are suffering at this stuff, because of this stuff, they will say that if we also join them, it is going to make them much more powerful. And then in the future, nobody can resist them. Even now, I think nobody can actually resist them, actually cause some damage to them. But it will be even more difficult in the future if that is what your intent is. So Devon revealed that he has a contract with East versus West on both left and right arm. So it was kind of supposed that Devon cannot speak anything about East versus West when they started talking about Georgi's contract, when Georgi was supposed to pull at Knuckles Up. Then the Knuckles Up crew was told that Georgi has a contract, but later on they found out that the contract was on the right arm and the match that they were planning to have was on the left arm. So the contract argument was invalid, and this is what Devon refused to speak about. Then WAF also got involved in this thing, and they said that if Georgi competes there, his whole team is going to be banned. That's when this not rivalry but this controversy sparked once again, and it picked up some fire. So Devon told the Knuckles Up crew that don't be a poor knockoff and look up to the North American up and coming talent and try to involve them as much as possible in your game. And the owner agreed, but I do not agree with this. It's like saying that do not even think about the top level athletes because they will be loyal to East versus West only and King of the Table. You just focus on the lower level guys and bring them up to the international level, and maybe they can also get contracted by East versus West in the future thanks to what you have been doing. But right now it's kind of the opposite. Engin has built up many of the arm wrestlers, especially most of the non-famous, well, they used to be non-famous arm wrestlers about 2-3 years ago. Engin has built them up because of East versus West, because of his hard work, and now everybody wants to capitalize on that. And maybe that's one issue that Engin may have. That's one issue that is causing him to be so strict about these contract issues. Even when Georgi, let's say, is not contracted on the left arm, still maybe he can try to prevent him from competing there. And Devon also mentioned that if WAF is the body that governs arm wrestling in your country, then there is nothing that you can do to go against them, even if you don't have a contract with them, even if it is just a verbal agreement. We'll talk about what needs to be done, what's the exact problem. Sabin Bedulescu also made a video about this. He said that it has been 30 years. I did not know that Arsen has been the president for 30 years. I did know that he is the president of Bulgarian Arm Wrestling Federation, he is the president of European Arm Wrestling Federation, and he is the president of World Arm Wrestling Federation. I mean, it's just common sense. One person should not be holding up so many large scale portfolios. These are very important positions in arm wrestling, and there is just no way that you can have enough time to manage all of these correctly, or at least up to the abilities, up to your own abilities, which you would have shown if you were just managing one of these portfolios, let's say. So there are clearly no elections, because no single person can be the best representative to lead such a massive organization for 30 years. That's a big problem right there. There is no other way to just climb your way up to the ladder to go to the top of WAF. There are no elections, it seems. And right now, I think I know, or maybe I've heard it incorrectly, but they used to give some warning letters to athletes if they broke some rules about WAF. But right now, they're not doing that. They're straight away banning people, or at least threatening them verbally, not in a written format, which used to be the case before that. And they're not even giving the banned athletes letters like they used to give them, like you're banned for this and this reason. Maybe people started revealing those letters publicly. At least in the Indian Arm Wrestling Federation, I used to see such letters issued by Indian Arm Wrestling Federation back in the day. So maybe they have stopped doing that. But clearly, there are some problems. Sabin was saying that he used to roll in a $500, 500 euros car when he became the president. Now he has a $200,000 200,000 euros car. I'm not sure if that is his only work, if he has some other businesses as well, but these are some allegations. He was saying that his weight was 70 kilos, now he's fat, now he's up to 110 kilos. I'm not sure how much of that has to do with the corruption thing which Sabin was trying to mention. His other points were already clarified by Engin way in advance. So the problems are, the contracts should be limited to the arms only, right arm or left arm. I'm talking about the East versus West King of the Table. And I know WAF does not have contracts, but their bans should also be restricted only to the arms. Do not try to control the tongue. Let people speak freely. There was some crazy ban going on in 2019, I guess, or 20, when you will get banned from WAF even if you are seen with Denis Siplenkov in a photo. That's just personal issues, personal hatred. That's just, if I don't like you, I will destroy your career. It's nothing more than that. And arm wrestling should not get down to such low levels. And to the athletes who kind of accept these orders, yes, I will not be seen with that guy if that's what I have to do to protect my $10,000 prize money, which I will get if I win WAF, then that person is also a coward. I'm even okay, unlike many others, for some arm wrestlers to not join some podcasts. If this guy is banned by WAF or East versus West, the contracted athletes cannot join that podcast. I'm even okay with that, although many people are not okay with that. But even in that case, it shouldn't go up to the point where you cannot be even seen with that guy. That's crazy stuff to me. And people who agree to those rules are just spineless cowards. They're selling their soul for those $10,000 which they may win. And WAF is not the body which is giving them this money directly. They're getting it from their own governments. So WAF is just providing a facility. So my suggestion from here on is, since you're not paying the money directly, stop trying to control everything. Number one is, have a clear set of rules about the actions which can get you banned from WAF, from East versus West, from King of the Table, from Knuckles Up, from every single organization which we are talking about right now. Because if rules are so much flexible that they are not even written anywhere, then it gets a problem. Banning rules should be as less flexible as they can, because if they are flexible, your emotional insecurities are going to take over, and you're going to start banning people because of those insecurities, not because the athlete actually broke some rule. The second thing is, have a list publicly available about the banned athletes, banned officials, and banned referees, everything. So at least people know what they're talking about. At least we can go to the website of WAF or East versus West to see the list of enemies of the sport. I think Engin should do that. Like specifically on his website, East versus West, there's a column enemies of the sport. You can click it there and you can find multiple names, maybe my name there as well. It will be really cool to see and it will give more clarity to people. So these are the things that I want, and clearly it was a news to me that Devon Ladd is also contracted. Devon mentioned that he hates contracts, and it was really difficult for him to sign this contract with East versus West as well, just like it was really difficult for him to sign a contract with WL back in the days. So that's why I said it's kind of sad to see that even the most powerful figure in the world of arm wrestling is being controlled kind of against his will. You can say that yes, he himself signed the contract, he had the option not to, but if he didn't sign the contract, where else is he going to compete? Knuckles up? Who's the opponent? How can they get someone who is at Devon Ladd's level, who can make the match close at 105 kilos, at 115 kilos, or even in the super heavyweight division? So the most popular arm wrestlers not only cannot make their own decisions 100% according to their will, they cannot even speak about the things that they want to speak or the things that the podcast guys are asking them to speak about. And that's a very sad situation. Please, I know it is not going to happen, just make a rule list. It's your organization, you can make whatever rules you want. I don't care. If you're seen with Pradeep, you will be banned from East versus West or WF. Make those rules, write those down. At least everyone will have some clarity after that. And please speak up about these some small issues which should not be highlighted so much because of the concentration of the power at one place. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe.